Hey y'all, Lily here. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you all how I go about sublimating a design onto a 100% cotton t-shirt. Should you have any questions along the way, feel free to drop a comment down below and I will do my best to assist you. With that being said, let's get started. Alrighty, I will be using Silhouette Studio to print out my design. I do have a more in-depth video on how I go about this process. I will go ahead and link that in the description box below in case you want to check that out. Alright, so the sublimation paper I'm going to use is 8.5 by 14. So I have to go ahead and make sure that I change all the dimensions inside Silhouette Studio. That way there's no problems along the printing process. So the method I'm going to be using is printing on Glitter HTV. So for this I have to make sure I offset my design. That way I get the first layer of the t-shirt. For this offsetting part, you can change this size to your liking. I kind of like a thicker white border when it comes to sublimating glitter. Just that way I have more room instead of a piece of design maybe not adhering because there wasn't enough HTV glitter. Alrighty, and now that we have our sublimation design and now we have our HTV design, we're going to go ahead and print out the sublimation transfer first. So I decided that I wanted to add text to this design as well, so I went ahead and just typed out some text, colored it into the color of the design, and now I'm going to go ahead and fit everything onto this sheet so that way I can print it out using my Epson 2720. Everything that I'm using in this video I will go ahead and leave link down in the description box below in case you want to pick some up. And here I'm just going ahead and organizing everything, making sure everything is correct. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and just print out this design. We're going to go ahead and send it over to our Epson 2720. These are the settings that I use. You can go ahead and pause the video if you'd like to take a look at them. Alrighty, and then here's the video of my Epson 2720 getting to work. I am using ASA paper along with Cosmos ink in my Epson 2720. The sublimation transfers do take a few minutes to print. Just be patient with this process. If you don't have a sublimation printer, that's totally fine. You can head over to our website at chimpies.com. We sell sublimation transfers. You can go ahead and message us. Our email is linked in the description box below in case you want to have any custom designs printed. Alrighty, and now that it's all done being printed, this is what it looks like. The colors are very vibrant, very bright. They only get more vibrant and more bright when they are pressed. Alrighty, and now that we have our sublimation transfer printed out, we have to go ahead and head back to our Silhouette Studio, remove the sublimation design, and then head over to our outline, which is what we offsetted. Now we have to cut that. I'm going to be using my Cameo 3 to do my cutting onto the grid. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. I'm going to flip this horizontal because it is HTV, so HTV does have to be flipped horizontal or mirrored. I'm not too sure what term you use, either or is perfectly correct. Okay, so once the settings are all back to normal and everything is to the original cutting mat, I'm going to go ahead and place my outline. Alrighty, then once I have that all placed to my liking, I'm just going to go ahead and click send, and then send that over to my Cameo 3 to have that cut out. So these are the settings that I use for my Cameo when I'm cutting Glitter HTV. If you have any questions about this, go ahead and comment down below and I will do my best to answer them. Alrighty, my Cameo is plugged in and ready to go, so I'm just going to hit send, and off to the Cameo it goes. Okay, so now I have to get my cutting mat and I have to place my HTV onto this mat, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so once the HTV is placed onto the mat, this is what it should look like. The glittery part should be facing down. Alrighty, now we're going to go ahead and just load our mat. For this video, I will be using a ratchet blade. This is what a ratchet blade looks like. So let me focus. So this is the number it goes to. I need it to get to a 5. So it does come with this little tool that you manually have to adjust and turn it to the correct setting. Alrighty, so then I went ahead and sent my design to my Cameo, and then the Cameo is just going to get to work, and this does take a couple minutes as well. Alright, so the design is all done cutting. Now it's time to remove the HTV from the mat. I like to flip my mat upside down, and I like to pull the mat off instead of the other way around. I find that this way is just easier, and it just saves any potential risk of the HTV coming off. I like to cut off any excess vinyl that's left. I don't like to be wasteful. So there is a lot left over, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut around the whole design, and then I'm just going to go ahead and read the design. So I always like to start off and just press my t-shirt for a few seconds just to remove any moisture. Okay, so the first layer is going to be the Glitter HTV. So we have to make sure that our design and our Glitter HTV align correctly. So that's what I'm going to do here. So this is the sublimation design. And then I have the HTV design on this side. So this is what's going to go first. So we're going to go ahead and tack that down and then place the sublimation over it so it adheres onto the shirt. Okay, so the first layer that goes down is the Glitter HTV. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the Glitter HTV for 380 seconds for 2 to 5 seconds just to tack it down onto the t-shirt. I'm going to go ahead and just measure everything, make sure everything is nice and centered. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and press this design at 380 degrees Fahrenheit at medium pressure for about 2 to 5 seconds, just so that way the HTV glitter adheres onto the t-shirt. I'm going to be protecting it with a piece of Teflon sheet. Alrighty, once that's all done, I'm going to go ahead and just remove the clear film from on top of the Glitter HTV, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab my sublimation paper and align that onto the Glitter HTV. So when doing a design like this, I like to go ahead and just cut around all the edges to take off as much white as possible, just to make the placement process much easier. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and align my design, make sure I get it as even as possible, and then I'm just going to grab a whole bunch of pieces of heat transfer tape and tape that all down. I'm very generous with the amount of heat transfer pieces I'm applying. I don't like for it to accidentally lift up during the pressing process and create ghosting marks. Alright, once the design is all taped down, I'm going to go ahead and protect this with a piece of butcher paper, and then I'm going to press this at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 60 seconds at medium pressure. Alrighty, and this is what it looks like when it's all done. I'm just gonna go ahead and peel off the sublimation papers. It is still very hot, so be careful during this process if you don't let it cool down a little bit. I do hope this video was helpful and it gave you a little bit more insight on how to sublimate on Glitter HTV. If I missed anything at all, feel free to comment down below and I will do my best to assist you in the best way possible. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to stay tuned for future videos. I do have TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I would greatly appreciate the support over there. And thank you so much for watching. I do greatly appreciate all the support I am receiving. Have a good one.